Hello. Good evening. Welcome to our evening yoga practice.
And just like that, it's warm in Georgia.
That's all right. Our neighbors, I think they know what time we do yoga, and then they crank up the volume at 5 o'clock and at 9 o'clock.
That's their fighting hour, so they're just holding on the horn. So hopefully that chilled.
Anyway, it's all good. It's all just sounds, right? We just have to learn how to tune it out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's find a nice, comfortable place. Let's do child's pose today. Yeah. So open up your knees, bring your heels together and the toes together, and let's get into a version of child's pose. So you can either choose to open up the knees or bring the knees closer together and the toes together, and come down. Rest the palms on the mat, rest the elbows, the shoulders on the mat, and then sink down onto the mat. Nestle around here, get really comfy in this posture, spread the palms, the fingertips on the mat, loosen up the shoulders and the elbows, let the weight carry it down, try not to hold or grip any muscles. Soften the thighs and the hips, let it go. Sink into your body. Release the thighs, the core, let the belly drop down to the mat. Soften your breath, your intake, your chest, and let everything just passively be. You're laying down, you're folding forward, your forehead's maybe resting on the mat. Nothing to do. Simply be here. Now begin to draw your attention inwards towards yourself, specifically towards your breathing, towards your inner space, towards your heart. And notice how the breath is coming in and out of the body. Notice the exchange of air happening. Notice the length of this exchange. Notice the depth of the exhale. And notice your pause that you take in between the inhale and the exhale. Maybe try to lengthen that pause next time you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you inhale, you want to feel your belly drop down to the mat. You're growing from the belly. And on the exhale, try to draw the belly all the way in, up towards the lower back, maybe up towards your heart. And then inhale, drop the belly all the way down to the mat. Feel that oscillating motion the belly does as it comes in and then it goes out. Take a couple of deep breaths here and let's find a moment of stillness and a moment of breathness. One more soft breath here. On the next inhale, come up, walk your hands close to your body, and come onto your hands and knees. Let's find our neutral spine, our tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the wrists. Let's move through a couple of cat-cows. On the inhale, arch the back, set the gaze forward, drop the belly, shoulders away from the ears. Lift the crown up, lift the crown forward, draw the core inside the body. One more breath. On the exhale, tuck the chin in, lift up. Shoulder blades come up, pelvis comes in, hips come in, heart rises. At the same time, you're pressing into the mat. One more breath here. On the inhale, set the gaze forward, arch the back, drop down, cow. Now move back and forth here through this cat-cow motion. Take the full breath in, and then take the full breath out. Try not to short yourself on your breath. Draw in as much air as you can on the inhale, and take out every little bit of volume out of your lungs. All the air comes out. On the inhale, we drop the chest, drop the belly, shoulders away. On the exhale, we tuck the chin, lift the heart, lift the shoulder blades, lift the belly button, pelvis comes all the way in. One more breath here. Inhale, look forward, drop the belly, arch the back. Exhale, tuck the chin, come all the way in. Lean back, set your thighs on your calves or your heels. Keep your hands where they are. On the next inhale, come up, round the back. As soon as the shoulders meet the hands, you're going to drop the pelvis, set the gaze forward, shoulders away from the ears. On the exhale, tuck the chin first, round the back, lean back with the torso, hips go back, all the way back, rest down to your calves. On the inhale, come up, rounding the belly first, shoulders on top of the hands, pelvis drops, belly drops. Take the gaze a little bit higher this time. Exhale, tuck the chin first, round the back, come all the way down to your heels. One more time. On the inhale, come up, round your back. This time, open up your feet a little bit wider. Keep your knees where they are. Hands meet the shoulders, drop the pelvis, take the chin to the sky. Look up. Pause here. Notice the extension in the belly. One more breath here. Here's an option. Lift up, crescent at the top of the feet. Lift up your knees, coming into your upward facing dog. Wherever you are, lift up the hips, tuck the feet in, come into your down dog. Walk the heels in place. Find some release here. Loosen up the hips, loosen up the heels, the thighs, the ankles. Let's do 3 long breaths in down dog. Open up your feet about hip width apart. Press the heels into the mat. Press the hands down and away from the body, lengthening from the spine. Draw the core inside the body, soften the knees and come to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Grab the elbows, shift side to side. Ragdoll. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Release the hands back onto the mat. Inhale halfway, slide the hands up, press into your legs, shoulders away, neck in line with the spine. Your gaze is down towards the floor. One more breath here. On the exhale, come back down, fold. Soften the knees, inhale, rise up, reach up and high with the hands. On the exhale, seal the breath, hands to the heart. And release the hands off to the side. On your next breath, reach up and high with the hands. Inhale, hands go up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, fold. Place your hands on the mat, take your feet back to a plank. One breath in plank. Lean forward, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog or cobra. On the exhale, down dog, tuck the feet, lift the hips, walk it out. 5 long breaths in down dog. Open up the feet, open up the hands. Toes are pointing forward, heels pressed in. Hands are pressing into the mat. Rotate the eye of the elbow in and out. Let go of the head. Try not to control your neck muscles. Draw your core inside the body as you lift up the hips a little bit higher. One more breath here. Walk your hands to the front. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale halfway. Lengthen, adjust. Shoulders away, gaze down. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reverse swan dive. Reach up with the high. Keep your hands up this time. Open up your feet a little bit wider than you actually do. Open up the shoulders a little bit wider. Neutralize the pelvis. Try to get a nice straight spine. Grab your left wrist with the right hand. A slight tug up and then lean over towards the right side. Take your left hip off to the left side as you take your left bicep close to your ear. One more breath here. Inhale, come up. Release the hands off to the side, shake it off. On the next breath, inhale, reach up and high. Open your hands shoulder width apart. Relax a little bit, loosen up in the upper body. Grab your right wrist, slight tug upwards to release the shoulder, and then come over down to the left side. Push your right hip out to the right side. Bring your right bicep as close to your right ear as you can. Keep the gaze up or neutral. Don't look down. One more breath here. On the inhale, come up. Bring your palms together, clasp your fingers together. Let's do a small back bend here. Lean back. Exhale, come forward, hands to heart, pause, notice, and feel Samastiti. And release the hands off to the side. On the next breath, reach up and high. Exhale, fold forward. This time, bend your knees, sink your hips a little bit deeper, and walk your heels in place here. Stay here for a second, but I want you to bend your knees and sink in a little bit deeper. Exaggerate that lift in the thigh, in the knee, in the ankle. Maybe come onto your tippy toes when you lift up your left and lift up your right. Bring your heels together, toes together. Bend the knees at first. Clasp the big toe with your peace fingers. Bring in your elbows. Tuck your elbows in towards your body, into the outer legs, outer calves. Keep your chest glued to your thigh. Release the head. Let go of the neck muscle. And then slowly start lengthening your knees, keeping that chest connected to your thighs. If you're doing one of those, come back down, bend the knees, sink in a little bit deeper. Try to get that connection to chest to thigh. You don't have to straighten your legs all the way. As long as your chest is connected to your thigh, you're ensuring you're flat back. One more breath here. Release the hands, come back to your forward fold. Walk your heels again one more time. Lift up the right, lift up the left. Bend your knees, come down to the mat. Take your feet back towards your plank position. Lean forward, Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog or cobra. On the exhale, tuck the feet, down dog, lift up the hips, coming into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. One breath here. Inhale, right leg goes up. Swing it underneath you, place it in between the hands. Keep your back heel up. Inhale, rise. Press into the right leg, lift up, hands to the sky. Crescent high lunge. Lift up the back heel, back leg is strong, elongated. Front knee above the front ankle, front thigh is active. Right hip forward, left hip back. Core is in and up towards the body. One more breath here. On the exhale, rotate to the right. Right hand to the back, left hand forward. Okay. One more breath here. Inhale, come back up. Frame the front foot. Take the front foot to the back. Lift up the hips. Walk your feet. Down dog. On the next inhale, left leg goes up. Swing the left foot underneath you. Place it in between the hands. Keep the back heel up. Inhale, rise. Press with the left leg. Lift your torso. Take your hands to the sky. Back heel is all the way up. Back leg is strong, elongated. Front knee above the ankle, active as the thigh. Core inside up. Left hip back, right hip forward. Hips are in line. Lift up with the hands. On the exhale, open up to your left. Right hand forward, left hand back. One more breath. Inhale, come up. Frame the front foot. Take the front knee to the back. Drop the knees. Take a child's pose. You can either open up your knees, come down, or you can close your knees, bring your heels together, and then come down, resting your hands either on your knees or behind you or in front of you. Take a couple of breaths here, let it go, nothing to do. On the next inhale, come up to your hands and knees. Bring the knees together, heels together, toes together. Keep your knees below your hips as you walk your hands forward, coming into melted heart to mat or puppy pose. Open up your hands a little bit wider than you normally do. Come down, set the gaze forward. Maybe bring your chin to the mat or bring your forehead to the mat. Wherever you are, Try to find softness and try to find stillness. One more breath here. On the inhale, come back up. Bring the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck your feet, rise into your down dog, lift up. Walk your heels in place. 3 breaths in down dog. One more breath. On the next inhale, right leg goes up. Bend the right knee, stack the hips, open up. Send the knee to the sky. Keep your hands pointing forward. Keep that weight distributed evenly on your front shoulders. Lift up the knee a little bit higher. Keep the left heel pointing forward, left toes pointing forward. Open up with the knee just a little bit. Come onto your right fingertips. And see if you can spot your foot behind your left shoulder. One more breath. On the exhale, bring the foot down underneath you. Place it in between the feet. Drop the back heel, warrior 2. Windmill yourself up. Left hand back, right hand forward. Set yourself up here. Back leg is nice and elongated. Front knee above the ankle. Core is engaged. Shoulders are soft. Gaze is forward. One more breath. Keep that extension. Lean forward. Turn the palms up. Open up. Front hand goes up. Back hand slides down the back leg or wraps behind the back. One more breath here. On the exhale, come back to your warrior 2. Lengthen the front leg. Lean forward, come down, find your triangle. Take the right hand to the sky, hinging at the hips. Bringing the right hand to the mat as the left hand comes all the way up. Now, when you're in this, sink into your right side as if you're sassing someone. Bring your left hip out. Bring your right hip in. Press the toes into the mat, the right toes. One more breath here. On the exhale, bring both hands to the mat. Turn your right foot forward. Come into your wide-legged stance. Adjust your stance where you need to be. Stay on your fingertips at first. Lengthen the spine. Try to set the gaze directly underneath or a little bit in front of your fingertips. That way your neck remains in line with the spine. Take a quick look. Your back is flat. Check. Walk your hands towards the left side of the body. See if you can grab your left foot with the right hand. Or your left toe, your left calf, even your left side of the mat. Maybe the left hand goes up to the sky. Maybe the left hand goes behind the back. Set the gaze over the left shoulder. One more breath. Release the hands to the mat. Walk your hands back to center. Come onto your fingertips. Reset that spine. Try to get a flat back. Shoulders away from the ears. As the gaze comes down, the neck is in line with your spine. And then walk your hands over towards the right side of the body. See if you can grab your right toe, your right foot, the right side of the mat, wherever you can attach yourself on the right side with the left hand. Maybe right hand goes up. Maybe right hand goes behind the back. Set the gaze over the right shoulder, twist to the right side. One more breath here. Release the hands, come back down to the mat. Come onto your fingertips. Turn the left toes forward. Windmill yourself up to your warrior 2. Left hand forward, right hand back. Warrior 2 on the other side. Keep the back leg fully elongated, front knee above the front ankle, thigh is engaged, core is active, shoulders are soft, gaze is forward. Turn the palms up, lean forward and open up. Front hand goes up, back hand slides down the back leg, or wraps around behind the back. Sink into that front knee a little bit more. Don't lose that connection, the joint alignment. One more breath here. On the exhale, come back to your warrior 2 as you lean forward. Straighten the front leg. Lean forward, come forward, fall down. Bring the left hand to the mat. as the right hand reaches up towards the sky. Sink into your left side, press your left heel into the mat, press the left toes into the mat. As if you're pushing your right hip out, you're sassing someone back there. One more breath here. On the exhale, both hands come down. Find your wide angled stance. One more time, turn your left toes forward. Come onto the fingertips at first, resetting the spine. This time, bend the right knee, sink into the right side as you lift your left toes up to the sky. See if you can find a location here where you can bring your hands a little bit closer to your body. Maybe remove the hands off to the mat. See if you can balance yourself on this posture. Keep the left toes pointing up. Keep the left heels pointing out. Left leg is fully engaged. One more breath here. On the inhale, press the left toes into the mat. Come onto the right tippy toe. Lift up the hips. Come all the way off to the other side. Bend the left side. Sink into the left side. Turn the right toes up. Right heel kicking out. Right toes pointing out. See if you can lift your hands off to the mat, the ground. For a couple seconds, find that balance. If not, keep your hands to the side, to the front. Find the place here where you're comfortable and it feels good. Keep your right thigh, your right foot active and engaged. Right toes pointing up. Keep the breathing here. One more breath. On the inhale, press into the mat. Lift up on the left side, coming into your wide angle stance. Fingertips to the mat. One more time, flatten the back. This time, soften, round, come down to a forward fold. Let it go. If you have a handstand in your practice, now's the time. Lindsey's taking the crown of her head to the mat, bending her elbows, supporting her knees on her biceps at first, on her elbows. First, she lifts her feet off, finds her balance, then maybe extends her leg all the way up to the sky. Keep that 90-degree angle at the elbow and the wrist. When you're done, come out of this. Bring your feet back down to the mat, come onto your fingertips, reset the spine one more time. Turn the right toes forward. Lift up the back heel, frame the front foot, take the front foot to the back, find your down dog. Walk your heels in place. On the next inhale, right leg goes all the way up to the sky, bend the right knee, point the right knee to the sky. Stack your hips, open up your hands, make sure your weight is being supported on both your shoulders. Right heel pressing into the mat, right toes pointing forward. Come onto the left fingertips. See if you can spot your right foot over your left foot over your right side. One more breath here. On the exhale, bring your feet back down to the mat. Drop your knees, take your child's pose. Let it go. Nothing to do here. Release everything, soften the body, soften the breath. Nothing to do. On the next inhale, come up. Bring your hands to the mat, knees, open up your knees. Come into your neutral spine, your tabletop position. Tuck your feet, lift up your hips. One breath in, down dog. On the exhale, soften the knees, walk to the front slowly. Take a step at a time, coming into the front of the mat, lifting the heels as high as you can on the way up. Once you're here, open up the feet about hip width apart. Bend your knees, sink down, and shake it off. Nothing to do here, just find some softness, find some release. Inhale halfway, lengthen. Adjust, shoulders away, gaze down. Exhale, hold. Inhale, soften the knees, rise all the way up. Reach up and high with the hands. Exhale, hands to heart. Samastiti, pause, notice, and feel. And release the hands off to the side. On the inhale, take the hands up and high. Reach up and high with the hands. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, take the hands to the mat. Take your feet back to a plank position. From plank, lean forward, Chaturanga Dandasana, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the feet, lift the hips, down dog. 3 breaths in, down dog. One more breath here. On the next inhale, reach up and high with the right foot. Right foot goes up. Swing underneath you, place it in between the hands. Drop your back knee to the mat. Low lunge here for a couple of breaths. Set yourself up. Slide the back knee as much as you would like. Keep that alignment. Front knee above the ankle, front toe pointing forward. Maybe come up to the front knee. See if you can support both your hands on your front knee. Right hip back, left hip forward. Spine is lengthened. Chest leading. Crown lifted. Shoulders away from the ears. One more breath here. Exhale, frame the foot. Take the hips back. Point the right toes up, right heel out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in on the front leg. Keep the right toes pointing up. Keep the right heel kicking out, pointing out. Take your right hip a little bit to the back, which means pressing your right heel into the mat and in towards your body. Left hip a little bit forward. One more breath here. On the inhale, bend the front knee, come into it. Take the right knee to the right hand. Slide the back foot back all the way down to the mat. Keep the right foot dorsiflex, right toes pointing out. Come onto the fingertips at first. See how this feels. Make any adjustments you need. Move your shoulders away from your ears, crown lifted, back somewhat bent. On the next exhale, maybe exhale your way down to your elbows. And take a couple of breaths here. Take a moment to check back in with yourself. Notice how you feel throughout all these movements. Notice how your body feels. Notice how you're breathing. Are you choppy? Are you taking that full breath in, full breath out? Come back to the now. One more breath here. On the next inhale, wherever you are, start walking your hands in towards your body. Come onto your fingertips at first. Bend that back leg, the left leg. Lift up the back foot. See if you can reach around with the right hand. Clasp the back foot. Set the gaze over the right shoulder. One more breath here. Release the foot. Bring the hand to the mat. Tuck the back foot, lift up the back knee, take the front leg all the way back and up. And exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Walk your heels. On your next inhale, left leg goes up. Swings underneath you. Place the left foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee. Find the distance that feels good for you here. Slide the knee back as much as you'd like. Keep this alignment. Front knee above the front ankle, front foot pointing forward, toes are pointing forward. Try to spread your toes on the mat. Press the toes into the mat. Maybe come onto your left knee. When you come on here, you have your balance. Try to bring the right hip a little bit forward. These micro movements go a long way in this posture. Shoulders away from the ears. Core is in and up towards the heart. chest leading up, crown elongated, length from the neck all the way down to your spine. One more breath here. On the exhale, frame the foot. Take the hips back, point the toes out, kick the heel out. Inhale, lengthen. Set your gaze above your front foot. Exhale, fold. Instead of looking down to your knee, take your gaze over your left toes. And then slowly, on the exhale, try to come down a little bit deeper. Try not to go up and down with the exhale. Stay where you are, but use the exhale to bring you down. Don't use the inhale to come up. Now, if you can bring your left hip a little bit back, pressing the left heel into the mat, left heel towards your body, right hip a little bit forward, micro movements go a long way here. One more breath here. Inhale, come up, bang the front knee, take the left knee to the left hand, slide the back foot back knee all the way back, bending the left toes, left heel, dorsiflexing the left foot, keeping the toes pointing into the knees. Stay on your fingertips at first. Let this happen, let your body settle, let everything adjust. Our hips should be nice and loose right now. We went into a couple of hip opening postures. This is a nice way to close the hip sequence. Maybe on your next exhale, come down to your elbows, exhale your way down. And the same thing here, take a moment to check back in with yourself. Pigeon's a perfect posture where you can zone out for a couple of seconds and retune back in with your body. I'll bring you back when we need to come back. Wherever you are, prepare to come out of this by bringing the hands in close to the body, lifting the chest up, torso up. Come onto the fingertips one more time. See if you can bend the right foot, the back foot, lift it up. Press the right hand into the mat as you reach back with the left hand, grabbing the right foot, setting the gaze over the left shoulder. Shoulders away from the ears. One more breath here. Release the foot back down to the mat, tuck the back foot, lift up the back knee, take the left foot all the way to the back and up, and then drop it back down to the mat. On the next exhale, walk your feet back to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, slide the hands up, shoulders back, gaze down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up and high. Exhale, hands to heart. Samastiti, pause, notice. Release the hands off to the side. At the same time, open up your feet about hip width apart. Keep the toes pointing forward. Micro bend in the knee, never hyperlocking and never bending too much. Just maybe a micro bend, always control in that spring. Engage the thigh, neutralize the pelvis. Shoulders forward and back, opening up the ribs, the chest, leading the heart. Turn the palms forward, shoulders away from the ears, crown elongated and lifted. This is your mountain pose. This is your Tadasana. This is your unshaken, unbound pose. And soften up, release the hands. Bring your feet together. We're going to get into a couple of balancing postures. I like to start with the ankles and the toes close to each other. They don't have to be touching. Lift up the right knee, right thigh parallel to the mat, right foot pointing forward. Just find a point of balance here where you can, adjust, take all the necessary micro movements your body needs to make to balance on the left leg. Keep that left leg engaged and active. See if you can grab your right knee with both hands. Bring your knee a little bit closer to your chest. See if you can open up your right knee off to the right side, flattening your thigh with the mat, keeping your knee bent, taking the left hand off to the left side. At the same time, you're pushing your right knee out, bringing your hips in line. You're reaching with the left hand back. The crown is elongated. One more breath here. Release. Shake it off. Let's do the other side. Bring your feet together. Start with a neutral leg, neutral position. Bend the left knee. Take the left knee higher, thigh parallel to the ground, left toes pointing forward. This is where you adjust yourself on your right side. Let your body do whatever adjustments it needs to do to establish that connection, that balance on the right leg. And then bring the left knee in, clasping your fingertips, pressing in towards your shoulder or your chest. Keeping that right leg strong and elongated. Press your right toes into the mat. Lift the crown up. Grab your left knee with the left hand. Open up the knee off to the left side. Same time, counterbalancing with your right hand. Reach back and out with the right hand. Use your press on the left knee to open the hip up. Use the right hand to open the chest up. Crown lifted. Draw the core inside the body. One more breath here. Release. Shake it off. Come back to your feet together. We'll get into our tree pose here. So whatever version of tree pose you prefer to do, find it and do it. If you need to go next to a wall or a column or something, a chair for support. Option one is to slide the foot up to your right foot to your left thigh. I like to switch it up. I like to place the foot in front of the thigh, having the soles point up, having the knee pointing down. Wherever you are, avoid the knee. Try to find a focal point, a dishti, where you can concentrate. Maybe the hands come together close to the heart. Isn't it? When you're done, release your hands, release your foot. Come out of it. Shake it off. Let's do the other side. Sink into your right leg, right side, find your balance. Whatever version of tree pose you want to explore on this side, go ahead and go for it. Remember, avoid pressing into the knee, either the calf, the thigh, or the ankle. If you have it available, bring the palms together close to the heart. Tuck the chest slightly in, lifting the crown up, finding your gaze, drawing the core inside the body. Keep your core active. Your core gives you that balance. Pressing the right toes into the mat. One more breath here. When you're done, be done. Release. And shake it off. Tuck the chin to the chest, make your way down to the mat, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Take your time, come all the way down. Place the hands on the mat, come down to your tush, and take your feet out. Flex your toes, your ankles, your heels, find some movements here. Press down, lift up the tush, lean forward, come down to your back, make your way down onto your back. Bend the knees, take the feet to the mat, open up the feet about mat width apart, and windshield wiper the knees left and right. We did some pretty intense hip openers today, so we'll end it with a nice reclined spinal twist. Bring your knees back up, taking the right knee above the left knee, stacking your knees, lifting your hips just a little bit, moving your hips a little bit to the right, lowering the knees down to the left side of the body as you take the right hand off to the right side, left hand off to the left side, setting the gaze softly over the right shoulder, and begin to soften the body. Start by releasing your hands, releasing your shoulders, soften the chest and the thighs. Try to keep the back of your shoulders grounded, connected to the mat. And soften the hips and the knees. Scan your body, go down to your toes. Make sure everything is soft. On the next inhale, come back up. Bring the knees up to the sky. Switch, left knee on top of the right knee. Shift your hips slightly to the left. At the same time, lowering the knees off to the right side. Reach out with the left hand to the left side. Reach out with the right hand to the right side. Setting the gaze over the left side of the body. As soon as you sink into this posture, begin to soften, begin to release. Start from the left fingertip. Soften your hand, your palms, shoulders, chest and your belly. The hips, the thighs, the knees. Even the ankles and the toes. Everything is soft. On the next inhale, take the knees to the sky. Bring your knees in for a hug. Wrap your hands around. Lift up the forehead. The nose meets the knees. Squeeze really tight. Get into a nice tight ball here. Placing your hands on the mat. Taking your heels to the sky. Dorsiflexing the feet. Flex your toes, your heels, your ankles. If you have a shoulder stand in your practice, you can go ahead and get into it. I'll cue it up. You can stay here. This is a nice inversion. Or roll the feet above the head, lift the hips up. Take your hands, bend your elbows, place your hands underneath your lower back. Your fingertips pointing towards your turf. Bring your knees in towards your forehead at first. Keep your gaze inwards. Don't look off to the side. I guess it's kind of hard doing this and looking at the camera at the same time. But try to keep your gaze in between your groin or your knees. Take the right foot up to the sky. Take the left foot up to the sky. Readjust your elbows, your shoulders. Find a nice stable place for your shoulder stand. If you're here, stay here. Enjoy this. Or lower the feet above the head, coming into your plow pose. You can release the hands behind the back, press the hands into the mat as you lower the feet down above the head. Bend your knees, take your knees to your forehead, or open up your knees to your ears. When you're done, come out of this, same way you came in, wherever you are. Roll down to the mat. Bring your knees in for one final hug. Clasp the insides of the soles of the feet. Point the toes out. Press the knees in. Finding your happy baby. Wobble side to side, back and forth. Find some movements here. And then preparation for our final pose. Our Shavasana. Extend the feet off to the mat. Let the toes flop off to the side. Turn the palms to the sky. And then slowly begin to soften your body. This is where you reap the benefits of your movements, of your practice. This is where you feel the stretch and the pull and the compression and the elongation. Listen to your body. Notice how you feel. Allow the soft breath to take over, involuntary breathing. And allow yourself to experience this moment, the place you call here and now.